Hi guys, it's Joey and this is the video blog, the diary I guess, for the Witchling transformation. And wow, there's been a lot of information this week. If you want the generalised meanings, that's in the other video, but just to recap, it's literally about transformation, metamorphosis, the evolving process of life that brings higher consciousness. So that's what my week has been around. The card appears to be glowing because of the sunlight, so that's going to be interesting. Right. A couple of quotes to start with, as we usually do. She didn't just clean out her closet, she queened out her closet. And she didn't just clean out her life, no, she queened out her life. So the first message is a little bit about your personal sovereignty, about believing in yourself. It is magic that lights me up and fuels my journey. Without magic I am lost, without magic I am asleep. With magic I am my most radiant and alive, the gossamer path. She said, here's the secret, my dear, I learned to love that which I fear. Do it, girl. The importance of magic, the importance of overcoming your fear. Fly high on the wings of possibility, unknown. You are beautiful, own it, walk like your hips move mountains, unknown. I love that last one, I'm going to read it again. You are beautiful, own it, walk like your hips move mountains. I think as well this week there has been an undertone of balancing your own determination, your own will, which is necessary for transformation, your own self-belief, with not becoming self-obsessed, self-absorbed, without feeling the need to be, inverted commas, better than anyone else. I picked up some more sandalwood incense, rose water, a sweet pea votive, some silver birch bark and a horse chestnut at the beginning of this week. I actually picked up another horse chestnut at the end of the week. It kind of came around to a nice cycle. Sandalwood is for love, commanding, clearing negativity and spiritual offering. Sweet pea is female Venus water, friendship, chastity, courage, strength, self-love. Courage aspect is to do with healing. Silver birch, Venus water, protection, exorcism, purification. Goddess, new beginnings. Horse chestnut is the masculine. Jupiter, money, healing, carry for luck, success, and money. I also associate horse chestnut with my grandmother and ancestors as well. My grandmother and me and my sister used to go hunting for horse chestnuts in the big graveyard where the best trees were when we were little. Rose water, ruled by Venus, anointing in love magic, substitute for rose dew, libation in water sprinkled for Isis, waking those from a trance, body wash for preparation for ceremonial magic, add to bathing water for love magic or moon magic or any goddess energy. Psychic powers, divination, luck, protection, attracting love, self-love. Altar wash or a water to promote calm and peace and love in the home. And I did do the video about the peace water, I think we called it in the end, with the rose quartz and the strawberry quartz. So that's kind of already out there. I've already talked about that, so we won't go into that too much. I decided to pull a card for the 1st of September. So I'm reading my own words there, like what? And current situations from the Shapeshifter Oracle, and pulled Fiona and the Unicorn, which I have since put away because I've been doing other tarot work. So Unicorns help us choose between what is pure and what is polluted. The unicorn's alicorn connects directly to their third eye. At this time, messages are being drawn directly to your third eye, and so your clairvoyant capacity is growing and opening. This may sometimes be disturbing. You may experience flashes of light at night as though lightning is striking. You will be able to see colours and energies around you, even see people's guides and their etheric companions. The fairy within the unicorn card is magical too. She's learning the secrets of speaking with crystals. Notes from that week. Someone had mentioned that their house, which they believed to be haunted, had been flashing lights on and off whilst we were in conversation. And I'd had dreams in previous nights about being protected and loved by a male who turned out to be a fae. Continuing on with message of the card, you'll see colours and orbs and entities. You are able to see what once you were not. It may lead to troubled sleep. The unicorn will purify the energy that comes to you and advises you to drink a great deal of water. It is helpful when your third eye is awakening. Accept your visionary experiences and they will lead to greater healing and the ability to heal others, as well as perhaps engaging with crystals. You have been gifted with sacred sight. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot more peacock images this week. The peacock feather images were everywhere last week, and now it is the whole image. I'm wondering whether or not this is connected to the unicorn ideal, as a lot of the peacock images I had been seeing were white, with the connection of pure and innocence through the colour. I'd also been seeing a lot of bornite or peacock ore, which is to do with opening psychic abilities, enhancing inner knowledge, teaches us to trust in the intuitive process. Spiritually, by assisting with visualization and creating your own reality, bornite or peacock ore fosters concern for all beings on the planet, advocating social justice and equality for all. So this is here, this beautiful crystal is peacock ore, and I actually had to order some. They didn't have some when I went looking in my birthday shop. According to My Power Animals website, the Order of the White Peacock is an ancient order of shamans. According to Feng Shui, peacocks are symbols of beauty, reminding us to take pleasure in the finer things of life. It's pure of heart, loyal and faithful to their partners, symbolism of glory, vision, royalty, spirituality, awakening, immortality, refinement and incorruptibility. There's been a lot of Venus, water, rose quartz and pink imagery this week relating to love, self-love, friendship and healing. I used a lot of roses and rose quartz in a particular working for someone else, and received a palm stone of rose quartz from my best friend, as well as the roses that are in shop from my best friend later in the week. Maybe you are searching among branches for what only appears in the roots. Rumi. There is always a need to be grounded whenever you're engaging with spiritual work. I don't know if I drove this message home enough, because there were comments about this week about being too concerned with the spiritual at risk of ignoring the physical and mundane. That hasn't happened in my life at all this week. I've been striving for the balance. But perhaps I didn't drive that message home enough. You have to be grounded and connected to the roots of things, as well as seeking and searching. There is an incredible importance to be seeking and searching as part and parcel of your life. It has to flow through everything, and by everything that's the mundane stuff too. The mundane religions were instituted in order to protect the marvels of the commonplace from those who would devalue them. Peter Redgrove. The number 29 of the Oracle card this week breaks down to 11, a master number. 29 is connected to psychic awareness, deep thinking and mysticism. And Tracy Welland shared that with me. I stand on a blanket of miracles. I am strange stuff and dark magic, broken bones and black feathers, chance, fire, wood and so many fears, tears like drops of moonlight along an evergreen path. Catherine Saunder. I loved that quote this week. It was beautiful. And then she decided to dance with her soul. Wild Woman Sisterhood. That to me is what a magical life is about. It's about dancing with your soul. I think that's beautifully put. Got some crystals for my birthday and on Saturday, belated birthday. Kalari Jasper, Labradorite, Smoky Quartz Generator, Charite, Tourmalated Quartz, Groslerite and Tanzine Aura Quartz, as well as a Rose Quartz Palm Stone from my friend. The Smoky Quartz Generator I have wanted for some time and not seen one. Apparently 2 people had returned the one that is in shot, saying the energy wasn't right for them. So far it is responding to me. Washed it down with storm water, soaked the label off properly, treating it correctly. It's funny because my friend Tracy called it he, and that was my feeling too, but the woman in the shop called it a she. Maybe that's been the problem for others. Charge him up on the moon. And Smoky Quartz is for cleansing, getting rid of negativity, transforming it into positive energy and protective barrier magic, as well as scrying, divination and delving into the subconscious. My friend sent me a rose quartz palm stone and some roses for my birthday as a thank you for being there for her. Rose quartz and roses were also present in the working that I had done for someone else, as well as the rose water wash. Rose and rose quartz therefore have been there this week in the measure of being supportive, loving and protective energy for my true friends who have been suffering difficult trials this week. And then there's the spell work and stuff I did for someone else, but that's private. Labradorite is the crystal that connects me to the Morrigan in a working sense, magic, mystery, the deep magic, shamanism, and my sacred grove. After helping my friends the first time this week, the Morrigan full-on manifested as a leather-clad warrior, blue Celtic markings, black hair and tied back with a copper circlet. She had a red mare with her, and the rest is private. Da, da, da. The Labradorite shimmer reminds me of butterfly wings, and I got a new butterfly cloth for the Mary L. Tarot set. I ordered at Tracy's insistence, as well as my own feelings about it. Hinting at transformation that is coming on the wind. It feels like a preparational week. Kalari Jasper, which is what my nephew got me, bless him. He's 5, and he insisted that I needed one. As much of air, fire and earth energies. Ideas, invention, vision, creativity, design, meditation and travel, all that opens the mind. In addition has been linked to the ancient ascended masters, a realm of teaching. It grounds, soaks up negativity, protects and cleanses toxins, suitable for amulets and elixirs, meditation, astral travel and invocation. Groslerite, buying a green is... I bought a green crystal because I seem to lack green crystals for some reason or another, and it actually turned out to be a form of garnet, Morrigan. Useful for challenges, it teaches relaxation, going with the flow, cooperation and fertility. Tanzine Aura Quartz, dunk, dunk. Hugely attracted to this stone in the store. Has multi-dimensional balance, profound spiritual connection, attuned to the transmutational violet flame. It opens and aligns us to cosmic energy, helping us to find spiritual comfort, dissolve emotional blockages, and replace them with unconditional love. Faith is not the clinging to a shrine, but an endless pilgrimage of the heart. Abraham Joshua Heschel. What you think you are, you become, so think ... Martin Soul Reader. And the end of this week is all about seeking. Seeking, seeking, seeking. You don't become spiritual by hiding your not so nice side with light. You have to acknowledge it and transform it. Martin Soul Reader. Ouroboros came up this week with the cards from the Mary L. Tarot, so it's very reflective. Right. I look a little bit creepy about that, never mind. Ancient symbol of the serpent or dragon devouring its own tail, symbolising the cyclic nature of life, death and rebirth, as well as the primordial unity that cannot be extinguished. Godhood, deity, spirit. Whilst first emerging in ancient Egypt, the Ouroboros has been important throughout time as a religious and mythological symbol. Also frequently used in alchemy illustrations to represent an alchemist's opus or great work. Within Thelma, the great work is generally defined as a spiritual practice leading to the mystical union of the self and the all. The one on my new Marielle tarot is also in the symbol of the infinity loop, the second time I've seen that this week. Tracy had a deep feeling and insisted about this deck, and I admit that I would not have been looking for it actively otherwise. The primal energy relates to the Morrigan for me, as does the connection to deity, balancing of energies. Alchemy, the transformation aspect of magic, is the desirable nature of a witch and also ties into the transformational energies of the card. Never put your faith in a prince. When you require a miracle, trust a witch. And maidens stand very still. They are lovely statues and all admire them. Witches do not stand still. I was neither, but better that I err on the side of witchery that unlocks towers and empties ships. Catherine Valente in The Night Garden. Both those quotes. I love them. I think it's awesome. As well as Metamorphosis is the most profound of all acts. That's again Valente in The Night Garden. Been seeing a lot of recurring sevens this week, down to seeing them on my bill when I went down the shop. £7.77, and I felt very drawn to the sevens in the new Marielle tarot deck. 777 is a highly spiritual number: enlightenment, development, spiritual awakening, purpose, intuition and inner voice of wisdom, and the sevens have always been a magically, shamanistically profound number. Then we have the spell grid for the Psychic Awakening, which is already up, and I dreamt about unicorns, linking back to the beginning of the week and transformational abilities of them. It's been an interesting week, a very interesting week. Transformation is a difficult process. You have to tear down who you were in order to become who you are meant to be. It's not an easy process. It's not a poof and there you go process. It's a difficult thing to achieve. It's a very slow process in some circumstances as well. It's a process of evolution, of evolving into who you want to be. It's taking each part of your life, mundane and spiritual, and everything in between, on all those shades of grey, and taking them into yourself and transforming yourself into more, becoming the best version of you, the better version of you than you were yesterday, and you keep on trying to be the best version of you. It's a path, it's a process, it's ongoing. There seems to have been some very sort of extreme views about how to live a life this week, and I don't really appreciate being told how you should live your life with regards to how spiritual or not you should be. I agree with seeking a balance, but at the same time I feel it's important to note that how much of your life you devote to your spirituality is up to you. It's your path, it's your choice, and the need to judge other people and their path and what they're focusing on or what they're sharing seems a need to belittle people, and I don't fully understand it. There are, I've seen people going on this week that people are not witchy enough, spiritual enough, and then all the people care about is witchy and focusing on spirituality, and they're not living. And I was like, where's the central ground here? Because you need both in order to transform. And I've been trying to tread that path myself this week, trying to embrace the balancing act between what is spiritual and what is mundane, and who I want to be in the future and where I want to go in the future. And I had a moment at one point this week, and I don't think it's talked about enough, that moment that happens when you suddenly feel incredibly lost and you have like this blank slate moment, like you don't know who you are and you don't know what you're doing and where you're going, and it's almost like a soul panic, and you're like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing, and where do I go, and am I doing enough, and has it all been a waste? And you sort of have this sort of little mini panic, and it's over quite quickly. You start calming yourself down again and talking yourself sense into yourself. But I think we probably all have those moments where we doubt ourselves and we worry and we have a mini freak out maybe and think, I don't know if what I've done is right, and this, that and the other. And it comes based on expectation of people who are telling us what we should have done, what we should be. And the problem is that people shoving their expectations down our throats is probably a really, or if not one of the most destructive things someone else can do to somebody, because, well, it's not up to anybody else to expect us to be who we want. You know, our profession, the way we decide to live our life, unless we're harming people, in which case, you know, it becomes something else. But in general terms, when we want to be someone and we're working towards that, then it's our responsibility, our journey, our path to transform ourselves into that person who we want to be. And it's not really up to anyone else to look down on that process, judge how long that process is taking, judge the way in which we are engaging with that process. We do what we need to do. You know, yes, sometimes people need a kick up the bum and sometimes people are lazy, but what has that got to do with anybody else other than the person? The only person they're letting down, really, we're generalising again, but generally speaking, the only person they're hugely letting down is themselves. Unless it's directly affecting you in a very negative way, I don't see the need. I see people going through the most difficult times and the most difficult things, and they're struggling. And there are some people who've been struggling so hard this week, and they're in a situation that I have been in. I'm not there now, but I understand how scary and how disheartening some of those situations can be. And the idea that people will put them down while they're going through that and tell them they should just get over it and just play along and just save face is a backward step to me, and I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. The transformation process is painful, as I know, as these people know, and I'm sure many people out there do know. Nothing worthwhile ever came easy, and it's up to us to fight the good fight, because we can, and we will. But there's definitely been an under-theme this week of remembering to show yourself and friends and loved ones respect and love and healing, because those things are just as important as encouragement and fire. You need both. People need a measure of understanding as well as encouragement. And if you're going to offer one or the other, then you need to understand that you need to offer both. And if you don't want anything to do with other people's transformations, then you need to offer neither. So that's going to be it for this week's vlog. Many blessings.